Good day. My name is Mary Rose Imbinodalion from BSc Ed English 2A.
What is an assessment tool? An assessment tool is a technique or method of evaluating information to determine how much a person knows and whether this knowledge aligns with a bigger picture of a theory or framework. In the classroom, teachers are the primary assessors of students. Teachers design assessment tools with two broad purposes: to collect information that will inform classroom instruction, to monitor students towards achieving year and learning outcomes. Teacher also assess students in developing self-monitoring and self-assessment skills and strategies. Why do we need to use assessment tools? It is because assessment tool can be used to help support active learning, facilitate team building activities, and foster peer-to-peer learning. They also provide alternative assessment methods and can be used to check in student learning in real time. We are concerned with developing objective tests for assessing the attainment of educational objectives based on Bloom's taxonomy in this chapter. For this purpose, we restrict our attention to the following types of objectives: A. True or false items. B. Multiple choice items. C is the matching type items. D is enumeration and filling of blanks. And E is essays. The first four types of objective tests are used to test the first 4 to 5 levels of the hierarchy of educational objectives, while the last essay is used for testing higher order thinking skills. So there are types of objective tests. Number 1 is the true or false items. 2 is the multiple choice items. 3 is the matching items. D is the immunity. Okay, so let's proceed. There are important steps in planning for a test. These are knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, evaluation. So first is the knowledge. The students must be able to identify the subject and the verb in a given sentences. Next is comprehension. The students must be able to determine the appropriate form of verb to use given the subject of a sentence. Next is the application. The students must be able to write sentences observing rules on subject-verb agreement. Next is analysis. The students must be able to break down a given sentence into its subject and predicate. Next and the last one is synthesis evaluation. The students must be able to formulate the rules to be followed regarding the subject. Okay, so the next slide is planning a test and construction of table of specification. So we call it TOS or TOS. The important steps in planning for a test are: number 1, identifying test objectives. So we must need to identify our test objectives. Number 2 is deciding on the type of objective test to be prepared. Number 3 is preparing a table of specifications. Number 4 is constructing the draft test items. Number 5 is try out validation. Okay, so a table of specification, or we call it TOS or TOS, is a test map that guides a teacher in constructing a test. Number 1, we must need to identify test objectives using knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, and evaluation. Okay, so in matching type and supply type items, we must need to consider as modified multiple choice type items where the choices progressively reduce as one successfully matches the items in the right. Supply type items depends heavily on the way that the SAMs are constructed. These tests allow for one and only answer and hence often test only students' knowledge. The matching type test is format provides a way for learners to connect a word sentences or phrases in one column to corresponding word sentence or phrase in a second column. The items in the first column are called premises, and the answers in the second column are the responses. Next is the essays. Classified as non-objective tests, allows for the assessment of higher order thinking skills. So there are rules. Praise the direction in such a way that students are guided on the key concepts to be included. Second is to inform the students on the criteria to be used for grading their essays. Last is evaluate all students' answer to one question before proceeding to the next question. Okay, so essays are very important, as an essay is an assessment question that requires an answer in a sentence, paragraph, or a short composition. Essay assessments are usually classified as subject assessments, as there are normally a variety of responses. Assessment of students is a vital exercise aimed to evaluating their knowledge, talents, thoughts, and beliefs. Okay, so let's proceed to the next slide. The importance of assessment tools. In the educational research, assessment tools help instructors evaluate students' knowledge and make informed decisions that improve their learning experience. Assessment tools help participants measure their progress towards specific outcomes and modify their behavior to meet those goals. So these assessment tools are very important and has its own rules and in conducting an assessment, because as a future educator, we must need to conduct those assessments so that we can manage, or we are able to know what are the understanding of our students. Also, assessment tools are techniques used to measure a student's academic abilities, fluency, and skills in a specific subject, or to measure one's progress towards academic proficiency in a specific subject area. Okay, so in conclusion to my report, the importance of assessment tools in the teaching learning process is well-designed assessment methods provides valuable information about student learning. So I agree. This assessment tools has a huge role. They tell us what students learn, how will they learn it, and where they struggle. That ends my part. I hope you learned something about my report. Thank you for listening. God bless us all.